Right, so welcome to the MotoGP practice, and forgive me while I just get my chair readjusted. Right, so Joshua Birch is currently not in the commentary box, and it is 2:13 in the morning for me. We are back on the practice session for MotoGP here in Motegi, Japan. Forgive me if I pronounce that incorrectly. As I said, it is 2 in the morning. I have had sleep, an hour and a half, though I am on my own for this, and thank you, Joshua, for just texting me to remind me to put the track audio on. Now, right, also for the intro things. My mind's all over the place. It is 2 a.m. Right, everyone seems to be getting... A lot of people seem to be on the track for practice, which is good to see. Miller's first out there to set any form of time. And it's... Hold on. Just going to turn this off, get reorganised. And here's a replay of start-finish straights. And that's a replay of Miller's bike. It seems... Is that the hard has gone for? Hold on, I'm just going to check. No, it's the softs. It was either going to be the softs or the hards, and I just went for the hards, thinking, it's like, do you know what? 2 a.m. It's probably going to be that. He's currently 6/10 up on his own time, and I will be on my own for this practice session and then the subsequent qualifying sessions. So it might take me a tiny bit of time to just, like, warm up. It's like get my brain in gear about something. I mean, earlier on, I was told go left or something, like put something to the left, and I went right. That's how out of tune my brain is right now. Good morning. And it's, yeah, everyone is out on the track now. Well, because, like, it's 2 a.m. and I'm still out there. 24 minutes left of the session. Everyone seems to be heading out onto the track now. Martin is currently top in practice. Oh, now he's been overtaken by Miller with a 146.317. Then Augusto Fernandez, who last week did not have the best of weeks because he had to retire with technical issues, if I'm remembering correctly. And Bagnaia goes second with a 146.318. That's 1 thousandth difference between him and Miller. Not Miller. Wait, yes, Miller. Yes, Miller. Right now. Though Martin, which is what confused me just then, Martin is very close behind with a 146.428. Quartararo is 5 tenths down on Miller's time, and I am honestly surprised that Miller has been able to top the board right now twice in a row. I mean, it's usually you'd see him, like, if it was during a practice, like, second. It's like, and someone else is, like, trying to take top. So you would see the 2 championship contenders usually below him in that standing, even just by 1,000ths of a second. I'm having to, like, readjust to where the camera angle is, because it's usually up there, and if it's not there, it's there. But because it's just me in the box, it's there, because I like to sit down. And got my nice little drink there. Water, very efficient. And currently Miller is estimating to be almost 5 tenths up in his own time. And, wow, this is probably the biggest surprise of the weekend so far, even though it is only Saturday, is that Mia has just gone into second with only 9 thousandths below that of Miller's time, his improved time, might I add. Because Miller's just done a 145.786, and Mira's just below that by 9 thousandths of a second. Bagnaia, just as I said, that goes into first for 1:45.5110. It'd be 0, not 10. See what I mean about brain? Oh, a little bit of a glitch there, but it's fine. Yeah, everyone is just out on the track right now looking at Aleix Espargaro going, I think that's middle of sector 2, that is. Martinez following closely behind, going just that little bit faster. Aleix seems to be about a tenth and a half. Oh, now it's like 3 tenths off the pace of Bagnaia's time, which, wow. Aleix, a couple years ago, even a year ago, would be able to like really keep up the pace. So it seems like this year's bike is just not working for him. Or Viñales. Well, a little bit more Viñales. But certainly it's not working for Aleix at all. Brad Binder is 10th and a half down on Bagnaia's time. Honestly, Brad's been looking quite strong recently. He's been looking really strong, and like I honestly would not be surprised if at some point this year, like even if it's just like later on the season, it's like last race, like we see him win. It honestly would not surprise me at all. Those new times coming in now. Martino only goes 5th with new times, and Miller goes top with a 1:45.414 with Mia 77 tenths behind him. Mia seems to be doing really well this practice session so far. I mean, Miller always does better in the practice, I think. And is that Bagnaia coming in? I can't tell whether he's angry or sad. I think he's confused. That is the look of someone, and the hand expressions of someone who's like, why are we slower? We're fast, but we're not fast enough. And I'm actually doing his hand expressions as I speak now. Like, that is what he's doing. He looks annoyed with the bike. But he's literally 3rd. I mean, I get he would rather be 1st, but why are you so annoyed with that bike? I mean, you're doing better than you usually do in practice sessions. I mean, they ain't your strong point, which is strange, given how far you're up in the championship. Hello, and I saw the highlights from yesterday's practice. It was a big crash for Bashir. Yes, it was a very big crash. And actually, I want to re-watch that soon, because I feel like that area might be a bit of a problem. I don't have any problems from it this practice. Now that I've said that, though, we'll probably have a problem from that, and it's looking a little bit cloudy. Zarco does a 1:45.741. That's 3 tenths off the pace of Acosta, who's gone top with a 1:45.255. I think that's how I'm saying it. This is the final free practice MotoGP. Yeah, I've almost forgotten. Thank you for reminding me. It's Nakagami's home soil. I'd almost forgotten that it's Nakagami's home soil, so he's looking to hopefully get in the points. I mean, currently he is 15th in the pit, though. Oh, Mark has just almost had a run-in. Well, I'm pretty sure that was one of the Aprilias. I want to say, from what I'm seeing on the timing screen, where's Mark on the timing screen? That it was Viñales. I want to say that's Viñales. Aleix Espargaro is 45 tenths up on his own time. Well, not his own time. On Marc Marquez's time now. He's past Acosta with 25 thousandths of a second. ahead of him with a 1:45.230. 17 minutes left of this session before we have a small break and then go over into qualifying. Obviously, I'm just doing it in one stream because I'm solo this one. And then I can go back to bed into the sprint. And Martin goes top with a 1:45.158 with that's 72 thousandths of a second slower than, no, not slower, faster than Marc Marquez. Still giving me like time to wake up. Right, real that time for Martin. And it's Bezzecchi makes his way out onto the track now, and Quartararo goes 12th with a 1:45.779 by 6/10 off the pace of Martin's time. He's just gone top. Oh wait, I've already said that. I feel like this session I'm just going to be very out of it. Well, at least the beginning half. I mean, I'm sure I'll liven up. I already am livening up a little bit. Just to reacquaint my mind with things, and I'll read out the current top 10 since most of the riders are in the pit lane currently. So currently first is Martin with a 1:46.158. I think that was 158. Currently 33 thousandths of a second up on his own time in the final sector. Then in second we have Marc Marquez. Third is Acosta. Miller is fourth. Fifth is Mia. Bagnaia is sixth. Alex Marquez is seventh. Binder is eighth. Aleix Spargo is in ninth. Oh, he's just entering the pit lane now, as is Martin. And at 10th is Morbidelli. Binder is also entering the pits. That leaves just two of the riders currently out on the track, and those are Quartararo and Bezzecchi. Bezzecchi has not been out of the pit lane for very long, so he is probably not going to look into the pit lane anytime soon. Probably wanted a bit of clear air, though. Only other person out on the track currently is Quartararo, and Quartararo has just entered the pit lane, so it's looking to be nice and lovely clear air for Bezzecchi. Everyone will try. We're in that like mid-session lull perfectly, because it is actually in the middle of the session where they're all just getting advice from their engineers and pit crew, and just like, what am I doing wrong? What do I need to do to improve? And pretty sure that is Binder getting advice there. Yeah, you can just see Binder's just like, okay, so that's what I'm doing. And at least we will still have Japanese rider on MotoGP grid next season. I'm excited to see how he does. Yeah, we will. And oh, here's a replay of turn 11. That's either a speed trap or a problem area. I did not see it fast enough. Oh, it looks like Binder's going to need more sleep. It looks like one of his eyes are a bit red. But yeah, it'll be nice that we'll still have a Japanese rider on the grid for next season. So we'll still have that, thankfully. And it's Julian says, I know we've got Sandra next? Not Eric. I am rubbish with pronouncing these place names. Also doesn't help that my mouth feels like constantly dry because of just waking up. Right, so heading out back onto the track. Some of the riders, Nakagami, coincidentally, and his home race has just come out onto the track. Bagnaia has just also come out for his second run. Bezzecchi is unhappy now that he has other people on his track. Acosta, here's a replay of him. What are we replaying? So obviously just in front of him is... Can't tell which rider that is, though. He did not go very low on that corner into turn... On that corner into turn 1. He did not go very low. Does not seem to be riding that bike how he usually does. I don't know what it is, though. Just getting a look at the championship standings now. Martin is currently at 366 and Bagnaia is at 345, 21 points behind Martin, and obviously now Bastianini and Marc Marquez have fallen a bit further down in the championship after both of them crashing out last week, which was very unfortunate, but certainly made for an entertaining race when we looked at how many people had lost on the actual grid, because it was just mind-boggling, just like how we've only got this many riders left. Just like, why have 9 of them crashed out? I remember like 9 of them have crashed out. I think there was only 14 left. Yeah, because pretty sure it was only 14 that were left. And there will be with Trackhouse. And so Thailand is going to be packed next year with the Songkyak. Chandra is going to be the first ever Thai rider to compete in MotoGP Premier Class. Oh, I did not know that. Joshua, I'm sure would. But I didn't know that. That will be really good. What are you saying? Hi, is it raining? No, it is not raining, though it is looking to be heading that way by the look of the clouds. I would say give it an hour and it might rain. With my British intuition of the rain. Though it's looking to be holding off for this session. I hope, at least. I really hope it holds off. Mark DNF was due to his bike caught fire and his engine failure. Yeah, oh yeah, thank you for reminding me. He didn't crash out, did he? He's just decided to end for his race for him, to be honest. I still do not understand how his bike caught fire so far. It's like, I'm glad he was okay, though. It happened twice, too, in that same race, and I had not seen that happen, at least in a very long time. And Joshua on the YouTube chat, you should be asleep. I should be asleep. Yes, you should be asleep. My tooth is killing me. Megan is doing race leading coverage so that I can be at Grand's hat for good sleep. No sleep. Yeah, I've had 1.5 hours sleep. I think Joshua's had about the same, and obviously he's in pain currently. Everyone's starting to get their new track times up. 1:44.887 for Bagnaia, who is almost 3/10 up on Martin's time, who is currently in second. Marc Marquez is in third. Acosta is in fourth. All of them are separated by about less than 4/10 of a second. Round it to about 3.5 of a second. 8 minutes left to go of this practice session. 25 thousandths of a second up on his own time. Bagnaia is going into the third sector now. And Acosta heading into that same sector, where he's almost 6/10 off the pace. Bagnaia has increased his gap up into almost a whole 1/10 of a second. Bezzecchi is about 0.124. I don't know why I didn't just say 1/10 of a second. There he is that much up on Bagnaia's time currently. So 7.5 minutes left of the session. Got my hoodie on because it is cold. 2:30 in the morning here. Which is weird because I feel kind of awake, and yet I don't. I feel like I'm caught in between that like state of, oh, I feel awake, but I'm also not feeling awake. Bagnaia sets his new time of 1:44.826, 61 tenths of a second up on his previous time. And Martin, I can't tell whether he's on a slow lap. We're looking at him right now. Wobbling a little bit going into, do you know that corner past like the overhead bridge thing? I don't know what corner that is, so I am sorry for that. So he had a little bit of a wobble there, so I'm going to identify that in my mind as possible crashing. There is 8 tenths down on Bagnaia's time. And I genuinely cannot tell whether he's just doing a fast lap. Not fast lap, slow lap. Or he's genuinely struggling out there. I cannot tell which, generally. So Bagnaia is almost about 1/10 and a half up on his own time. Bezzecchi is 1/10 behind that, though Acosta is estimating just to fall short of Bagnaia's time, going to second place with 29 seconds, or 29 thousandths of a second below that time. That would put him about the 1:44.797 range. And yes, I just do that in my head. Why can I do math in my head when I am asleep? Almost, but not anything else. Speaking. Adam saying feel better real soon to Joshua. Yeah. He is, it came on yesterday too, his like pain, so it's like the most inconvenient time. Like if it was at the start of this week, he probably would be feeling a bit better by now, but it's very new and very raw for his pain. Bagnaia sets a new lap time of 1:44.586. That is 2 tenths of a second faster than his previous time. So obviously, whatever he was talking about to his engineers in the pit lane seems to have worked. Antonio does a 1:44.961, almost 4 tenths down on Bagnaia's time, but enough to make him go into third place, overtaking Martin. Is Martin generally struggling out there? Do you know what? I think he is. Either that or he's just saving his tyres. I don't see why he would be saving his tyres, and it is getting a little bit dark out there for like the clouds. Like it's getting like progressively, it's like grayer and grayer out there. Oh well. Acosta sets the exact same time as Bagnaia, 586. They set the exact same time. It seems, and we have a yellow in sector 2. Who's that? That is Lorenzacco has crashed out in sector 2. What corner is he crashed out at? It might be turn 6. Yeah, it might be turn 6, but he seems to have got going. Or at least he's not shown. Oh no, he is out of it. I think his airbag has gone off a little bit, not a lot. So obviously it wasn't a very heavy crash, though enough for him to be leaning over, just like looking very sad about his crash, because why wouldn't you? You just crashed out. So that's a yellow in sector 2, so that's going to cancel out some lap times. Vinales does a 1:44.985 and goes 4th. Well, I think his lap time is safer. Everyone who is in that area does not have a safe lap time. So I don't think Antonio's current lap time is so safe, to be honest. Morbidelli has his lap time cancelled due to the yellow flag. My throat is really dry because of, like, I also haven't been drinking enough, I feel. Oh, and here's all the cancellations for Aleix Espargaro, for Rins, not telling me who is it exactly for, so I'm having to look. I'm just going to say the numbers. 30, 93, 36, 43, 21. It's going to take me way too long to connect in my mind who's who on the numbers. 31, 1, 72, 20, 23. Because I know in my head who they are. Oh, here's a replay of the turn 6 crash. Oh, I take it back about it not being a big one. Because that certainly was a big one. He has decimated the sides of his bike. There is debris all over, and I want to say that's Morbidelli. No, is it Martin? It's Martin. Martin has gone. Oh, no, I was right. It was Morbidelli. Morbidelli went off. Where did he go? Oh, no, it was Martin. Why is he on the track so quickly? So Martin at turn 3 has gone too wide and just gone straight on into the gravel. But to talk more about... We didn't get this much replay on Zarco's crash. Got 1 for him, got 2 for Martin. So for Zarco's crash, since we haven't got a lot of replay there, happened at turn 6. And he seems to have dropped it going round turn 6, and then he let go of his bike. So obviously he rolled a bit in the gravel, but so did his bike. His bike rolled very heavily in the gravel, and basically, I don't think he's going to be in qualifying unless they allow him to use his second bike, because he has decimated the sides of his bike. There's big bits of debris off the sides of it. I think he's taking off like the side cockpits of the bike. So Zarco, he's looking to be okay, maybe a tiny bit winded. So 2 seconds left, and now the checker flag is out for practice. So everyone's run currently is their final run. Bezecchi and Bagnaia are the first to cross the line. Bagnaia does a 1:44.569. Costa is second. Bastianini goes... I just had a no. No, I've lost it. 9th. He goes 9th. Vinales is almost 0.2 of a second behind. Stays third. Once everyone has crossed the line, I will read out the current standings for it all. I might take a picture of that too, just in case. I'll get the picture ready. Right, so everyone is crossing the line now. Everyone doesn't seem to be improving that much. I think the only person improving on the track currently is Morbidelli. And I don't think he'll get near the top. I don't think he'll get in the top 4. He might scrape a 6th. And that's me being hopeful. Aleix Spargo stays 14th with a 1:45.563. Morbidelli is about to cross the line now, and so is Marc Marquez, who is 6/10 down on the time of Bagnaia. Oh, and Morbidelli abandons his lap time by entering the pits, and so does Mia. Does Marc Marquez do the same thing? He doesn't seem to be. Yeah, Marc has crossed the finish line. It goes 8th. And it's slight little adjustments there for both of the Ducatis there. Teammates both adjusting their ride height and doing a practice start currently. Practice start seems to be going well. I'm not sure when qualifying will start though. Fastest lap goes to Bagnaia, giving a little wave to the crowd with a 1:44.943. Costa is second. Vinales is third. And turn that down just a little bit. Right, you know, I'm going to turn the radio mic off now because, yeah, I have perfect timing with that because as soon as I turned off the mic, they went to ad break. So, I'm assuming, okay, from my calculations for when qualifying will be, it might start at 5:2. It might start, I know it's going to start at one of like, it's either going to start at 10:2, 5:2, or at 3. Or just like, I'll just say the top of the hour. So I'm not sure. My mind goes to top of the hour because I feel like they're going to have a 5-minute ad break and then they're going to have like about 7 minutes to like warm up and then it'll be green flag running. That doesn't add up to the things. They might have 10 minutes green flag running. Waiting. Getting everything prepared. So I think it is safe to say that Zarco will not be out. And during this little break between the practice session and the qualifying session, I will talk a bit more about Zarco with what I think. And it's... Right, I'm just going to go over here quickly. I'll read you out the entire list of where everyone is in the standings. Right, first was Bagnaia with a 1:44.943. Acosta was second, third was Vinales. Antonio came into fourth. Binder was fifth. Bezecchi is sixth. A very good time for the VR46s. Right, Martin was seventh, surprisingly. I don't know what happened to him during the final bits of the practice. I will talk more about that in a moment. Marc Marquez was 8th, 9th was Bastianini, 10th was Morbidelli, Miller was 11th, 12th was Augusto Fernandez, Mia was 13th, 14th was Alessio Spargro, Marquez, Alex that is, was 15th, Zarco was 16th, 17th was Quartararo, Marini was 18th, Nakagami was 19th, 20th was Rins, Ralph Fernandez was 21st, 22nd was Salvadori, Salvadori's in this one, and Gardner was 23rd. I'm pretty sure that was Joshua when... Right, I will... Just been told that when TNT comes back, I should... hand over to them. Though I'm gonna, I would hand over to them, but I'll hand over to them when I finish my my summarization of the session. Let's say. So I will hand over to them in a few moments' time. Though, okay. Martin, that practice session, he seemed to be doing really well during the start of that. But then some point during the final bit, he just started losing it and dropping it out. And I'm actually getting to have a look at Zarco's crash fit. I was right, he did drop it going into like the middle of turn 6. And he was kind of like spun away from the bike. And his bike went in the complete opposite direction to him and went just completely down and just obliterated the side pods of the bike due to the pressure of how much it whacked into the gravel. But rider's okay. All that matters in the end. Probably won't go into qualifying, just as I say that. The qualifying things come up, so I don't know what time that will start. Probably will start very soon, actually. It'll be a 15-minute qualifying. Chances of rain... Oh! 83%! 83% chance of rain. And it's... Okay, so Martin didn't have the greatest of sessions. That was fine. That was fine. But... it did cost him a little bit. Right, I'm going to swap over now to TNT.
Now go back to the previous setup and see. He's okay though, I've seen him walking out.
Yeah, absolutely, he's okay. Now he's changing his laser, and yeah, he's
From the bad quickly to the good, Taka 0.04 off Q2 yesterday. Was that a love of the track, or was that something else Honda maybe changed?
Well, it was let's say frustrating, because you know, here it could have, you know, been fantastic to be able to stay go directly in the Q2. I think with the condition of today, we have still some chances, so let's go.
Good luck to both your riders. Thanks, Lucio.
Thank you.
As positive as always, Lucio Cecchinello there talking to Rachel Stringer. Michael, a little bit worrying that Johann Zarco wasn't pushing when that happened.
Yeah, and it sometimes is the scenario where you're still going fast, but you're just not on your absolute limit. So when the front folds and you least expect it, it's really hard to explain. They'll look at the data. If the speed's a little lower or the load's correct, then they will know it's a slight wet patch or a touch of the white line. But it's always difficult to say, and it's hard for the rider to be in that mindset now to go out and push. But that's where they're really good at hitting the reset button, jumping on the spare bike. I said, Lucio said, pulling the front setup back to how he had it previously and just putting it all on the line now for a spot in Q2.
Ooh, what a time to have to go and put it on the line in these kind of conditions. Taka also going, as Rachel said there, just missing out yesterday by 400ths of a second. Jack only missing out by 300ths of a second. It was so close yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah, margins are really close, and it's good that we're saying two Hondas just missing out by less than a tenth of a second. I think it's difficult to call the graduates here. I think Jack should be a shoe-in. Obviously, we've seen that Zarco was able to get through 1 week ago. The Honda's looking good, but maybe not as strong as it was in Indonesia, but it's close. So, yeah, Frankie Morbidelli on the Ducati as well should be strong. He's the only Ducati not getting directly through to Q2 yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, seeing him now just walk out of the garage getting ready for this one. Fabio Quartararo saying that he had no rear grip at all yesterday through any of the turns. He's also going in this. It's quite the field, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Fabio on the Yamaha. Not quite got the tools, I think, this weekend. So he's worked miracles in Indonesia. He's going to have to dig deep in this one, but the track conditions means that it's a little bit...
Right. Sorry to cut you off there. For session one, well, qualifying one has begun, and I was right. About 10-2, it would start. So I might even end this a tiny bit earlier for a 15-minute session for Q1, and I will read you out who is currently out on, well, going to be in this session. Right, in qualifying one, we have Zarco, Marini, Quartararo, Morbidelli, Ralph Fernandez, Nakagami, Salvadori, Mia, Augusto Fernandez, Aleix Espargaro, Rins, Miller, and Gardner. Right, so I think the surprise for this session, surprisingly enough, is Ralph Fernandez. Because Fernandez, over the past few weeks, has been showing, like, oh yeah, I can do this. He's been really showing a lot of potential. But for some reason, that practice session, he's just not got the pace with it. And I'm just going to turn this heater off because, like, getting way too hot, and I feel like it's like, instead of burning the lead, I'm like burning like the clothing. 13 minutes left of this session, and I think we're about to start making up their lap times now. Crossing the line is done. That's Morbidelli crossing. And it's... Are we going to get a lap time? Yeah, now we do. Here we go. Needing to get round turn one for it to actually begin. Oh. Sorry for that. Keep telling you. Right, so Morbidelli has passed the first section. Now Nakagami has just started his lap time too. And everyone seems to be improving on their opening laps, which is good. So no one's being really slow out there. which honestly I have actually seen before. I have actually seen a rider before not actually improve on the opening lap, and I don't know how that rider did it. I don't know who it was, because I can't remember. All I remember is seeing that there was no improvement there. I was just like, how? How did you do that? That was a while ago. So, 12 minutes left of this session, and that is the white flag with a cross on it. That's either the rain flag or the oil flag. I can't remember which. I think it's the rain flag. If anyone knows, because my brain is still not computing with things. Oh, that was a little bit of a wobble there for... That was Miller. That's Miller. A little bit of a wobble. That's in the section of the flag too. Oh, this is going to be an interesting qualifying. I can already see it. Right, so Mia goes top of the session now. Augusto Fernandez, now Miller with a 1:44.432. Who are your two picks going into Q2 in this group? Ah, that's a good question. Oh, quickly, Nakagami does 1:46.217, goes 8th. And my picks are Miller and Quartararo. Those are my two picks, Miller and Quartararo. Those are who I think will go into Q2. So, is it raining or something? It might be. It generally might be raining, and that might be why that flag is out. I generally cannot recall what that flag is. Realistically, Morbidelli must get through. Yeah. Oh, I'd forgotten Morbidelli for a second. Yeah, Morbidelli's probably going to go through. Sorry. I don't know why my throat suddenly got so dry, but when your throat gets so dry, you just feel like you need to cough. Right, 10 minutes left of this qualifying one, and yeah, Morbidelli is realistically gonna go through, so... Oh, it was a rain flag! It is raining! And Morbidelli and... Let's change it to Miller, because Miller's been really fast right now. So, I'm changing my answer accordingly. But I shall also keep the other two, so... Either way, I believe Miller will go through. Probably won't now. There's a 1:44.296. 1/10 up in his own time, and it is raining out on the track now. We've been waiting for it, and it's... I was around about right with the estimation of how long the rain would take. I was around about right. Like, it wasn't a full hour. It was around about. That's all that matters, and you can see like it getting greyer and greyer. Quartararo does a 1:44.789. Ralph Fernandez does a 1:43. Where's Ralph? Second does a 1:42.372. That was a 43 on there. Has he got his laptop deleted or something? Can't have. So Ralph Fernandez goes second. And why didn't I pick Raul? Raul's always increasing his speed, and he may not have done well in that practice session, but he's certainly done well in other places. Adam says, I'll say Pecco on pole for MotoGP sprint at Montelli. Yeah, Pecco is looking to be quite fast right now, so you're probably right with that estimation. Miller is still top with a 1:44.296. These people better get their ponchos on soon. I hope they have them. And I'm saying Zarco to get through for the LCR Honda again. I'm hoping for another Zarco masterclass like last weekend in Indonesia. Yeah, Zarco last weekend. I was so surprised that he managed to get through. And he managed to get points. His entire team just getting points. and I feel like I need to sneeze. So it was so impressive. It was kind of a bit due to... Actually, no. No, it wasn't a lot due to... Oh, that is Miller slightly having a big wobble there going into... I'm pretty sure that's turn 6. That is the dreaded turn 6. Really wobbling on that back there. Not looking good, especially if rain's coming in. So, yeah, Zarco did manage to have a very prosperous weekend last weekend. And let's hope that happens again for him. Because I hope that happens for all the riders at that team, both of them. Because obviously it's Nakagami's home race. So he deserves to have at least some points this weekend for his home race. Everyone heading back out onto the track now after being in the pit lane. If you're wondering what that slight lull was in me trying to figure out things on thing. I call a lot of things thing. I don't know why. 6 minutes left on the clock, and that is Quartararo getting very frustrated that he can't go out on the track because they're still messing around with his bike. Oh, that is... You can see his frustration in his body language. Hold on. Yeah, you can see his frustration in his body language. Got away with it now, though, heading out on to the track. Oh, there's a sign. That is a very well drawn sign there. That is very well drawn. So 5.5 minutes left of the session, and that's Miller. No, it's not Miller. But yes, it is. Wait a minute, what's Miller doing this bit? I've only just clicked that in my head. What is Miller doing here? Why are you here? You were doing so well. Why are you here in qualifying 1? How? What's Morbidelli doing? You can see the spits on the camera now. For those of you who are not familiar with the term spits, that is when it's like just beginning to rain. So no, not everyone has the same. Not everyone calls it the same thing. So here in England, we usually just call it spit. It's just spitting. I generally don't know whether people, whether that's like everyone calls it that or not. I generally don't know. So it's just beginning to rain now. So it'll probably rain a tiny bit more in the Q2 session, to be honest. So if we think about it, the people who are on the top of the grid tomorrow are going to have a more interesting qualifying for how they are going to get on the grid. Honestly, it'll probably prepare them for tomorrow. I hope it doesn't though. I hope it is a very nice dry race tomorrow. So I do not want... Actually, I do want a bit of action there. I feel like my sinus is acting up now. Seriously. Right, 3 minutes left. Well, 3.5 minutes left on the clock for qualifying 1. Currently, the top 2 are Miller and Ralph Fernandez. Miller having a 1:44.296. Though currently it all stands as first Miller, second Ralph Fernandez, third is Zarco, Aleix Spargo is fourth, Augusto Fernandez is fifth, Quartararo is in sixth, seventh is Rins, Marini is in eighth, Morbidelli is in ninth, surprisingly being 4/10 off the pace of Miller. Mir is in 10th, Salvadori is 11th, 12th is Gardner, and Nakagami, sadly for him, is in 13th. So he is currently estimated to start at the back of the grid tomorrow. And Morbidelli is finally making improvements. And it is now 4/10 up on the time of Miller. So goes top with a 1:43.746, pushing Ralph Fernandez out of that top 2. So that is very good. So currently, estimation stand of Morbidelli and Miller getting through into qualifying 2 as that rain is looking heavier. So it's not gonna fully pour it down yet. And Alessia Spargo kicks out Miller from second position and goes second with a 1:44.005, and immediately gets kicked out by, oh my goodness. Wait, no, that was Quartararo's time I was reading on there. Quartararo does a 1:44.005, and currently it stands that Morbidelli and Quartararo will be going into Q2 at this point. Morbidelli is a whole hundredths up on his own time. He's just increasing that time. It took him a little while, almost the entire session, to actually get into the groove of things, but he's finally done it. Better late than never. Spit of the camera has increased. Not that much though. It might hold off for at least this session from full raining, unless it just suddenly starts like pouring it down out of nowhere. They're not showing the flag anymore that signifies the rain, so I imagine they're not seeing it as too much of an issue right now. Motegi is the track where Danica Patrick got her only IndyCar win in her career, says Adam. Did she? This is the track? Oh, we're only just talking about Danica Patrick's first win the other day. Yesterday, actually, I think. And Quartararo now starting to heat up. Yeah, it took him a while, but better late than never. And it's saying, yep, you're right. Morbidelli has decided to pit because he thinks, you know what, no one else is going to do better than me right now. Miller does a 1:44.193, trying to prove him wrong, but ends up being 4.5 tenths behind his time. Ralph Fernandez goes through, I'm pretty sure this is turn 6. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is turn 6. I'm mastering the memorization of turns. I just need a landmark in each of the turns and then I can remember it. Or a crash to happen in one of those turns. Ralph Fernandez goes third with a 1:44.122 in his last flying lap as the checkered flag comes out for qualifying 1. Everyone doing their final times right now. No one is looking to improve them though, so it is looking to be that these times will stay the same. The only two people with the possibility of improving is Miller and Mia and Nakagami, surprisingly enough. Miller is 86 thousandths of a second off the time of Morbidelli, so there's a possibility that he may kick Quartararo out of that top 2, though that's not looking to happen as he drops his time down into 4 tenths behind Morbidelli's time, so obviously he has backed out of that time. Nakagami is also not looking to get through into Q2, which is sad. And Quartararo, obviously, he's just defending his own position, which he currently has for Q2. And no one is looking to improve. The people going through into qualifying 2 are Morbidelli and Quartararo. So definitely right with Morbidelli getting through. So the full list is Morbidelli, Quartararo, Ralph Fernandez, Miller, Alessia Spargo, Zarco, Mia, Augusto Fernandez, Rins, Marini, Nakagami, Salvadori, and Gardner is in last. So at least Nakagami will not finish last. Well, will not start last in his home Grand Prix, which honestly is, I think that's all anyone can ever ask for. I mean, obviously a win would be so amazing, but as long as you don't start last at a home Grand Prix, I think you feel pretty, it's like, okay, at least I got a bit further up. At least that's how I would feel. Give Quartararo a Ducati. Honestly, Quartararo on a Ducati would be such an interesting thing, because you so closely associate him with Yamaha, but I feel like Yamaha has done all it can for him at this point. So I would love to see Quartararo on a Ducati. I agree with you there. Quartararo gets that Yamaha into Q2 again. Yeah, that is, again, I think that's the second time in a row that he's managed to get that through. Maybe third. I'm not quite sure though. So Morbidelli and Quartararo are through, yes. those two are through, and it's... Is that Martin? Not very happy. He didn't look very happy there, and I don't know why.
Up to turn 3, and this is where Jack Miller just
He looked like someone just insulted him. I don't know what that was about. Sorry, I need to take another sip of my drink.
Actually, when the rain flags first came out here, it was quite dry, but now you might even be able to see a few raindrops. Towards the end of that session...
Right, I will hand over to TNT right now for what they are currently saying. Quickly, congratulations, Quartararo. Yamaha going V4 next year. That will be interesting. Yes, it will be very interesting, and we need Quartararo in a great bike again so we can see him battle at the front with Martin Bagnaia, Mark Acosta, and the others. Yes, I agree with that, because honestly, I would love to see Quartararo back up there, because he has been away from the top of the field far too long, and he really deserves to actually get that time up there again. And I will hand over to TNT now, and I hope they don't go to Adbrick.
In the morning and the afternoon, didn't put a lap together, but he just looked really strong. He was precise in this last sector, nailed the lap time, and job done. So all the GP24s are now in this Q2 session, as they should be. Arguably, this is the best bike for this racetrack, especially all these hard-braking, hard acceleration phases. That's where the GP24 comes into its own. So Frankie through alongside Jorge Martin, but the rain hasn't relented, so yeah, it's going to be the braver riders in this next Q2 session.
It's definitely raining a little
Agreed.
heavier now, because it's not pouring down, because we haven't got umbrellas up or anything, but you can feel the spots sort of regularly hitting your skin. Fabio Quartararo, who had no grip yesterday at all, clearly found something out there. I mean, I'm saying that he's probably pushed 100% during that.
Yeah, he's had to commit, without a doubt. And yeah, the signs we've seen in the practice session just prior to qualifying, I'm thinking Yamaha found a little bit of traction overnight. Obviously, it is cooler track conditions this morning. Good acceleration off the last corner there for Fabio. It's working. He's took his opportunistic moment to get through to Q2, and it gives him a fighting chance now. So, yeah, Fabio keeps working those little miracles himself. He takes it outside where the bike should be, and it's good to see. So he's in Q2. He's got a top 12 start, and that allows him to fight tomorrow.
We just had a little peek there into the Yamaha garage, didn't we? We can get more inside knowledge now, find out how the team boss, Mayo Meregale, is feeling now. He's talking to Rachel.
Mayo, I know Fabio was complaining a lot coming to this track, and you were questioning it as a track that you would struggle at. He's made it through safely by the skin of his teeth there. What did you make of that run?
I don't know what to say. He really did, for sure, a perfect lap. And honestly, I didn't expect that we could jump in Q2, because this is not... the track layout doesn't suit at all on our bike. And it was expected, even though we were coming from a decent weekend. But anyway, thanks to him, we have been able to jump in Q2. Now starting Reading, I don't know what we will be able to do. It's another unfortunate situation that we don't like so much. Let's keep the finger crossed and wait and see what he will be able to do.
Yeah, grip has been one of those problems, and with it raining, maybe the grip is going to play into more of a negative question for you.
Yeah, especially, you know, we are forced to use different lines, and sometimes our line remain wet and the others get dry earlier. And when it is like this, for sure now it's still a dry session. They can go with the slicks, but I think the rain is supposed to come now. And yeah, it's very difficult to predict.
Well, good luck for Q2.
Thank you.
Well, before we look ahead to Q2, let's relive those moments for Jack Miller, who we thought was favourite actually to go through in that session, but it just didn't come together. And when you see shots like this with the back of the bike, I mean, this is extraordinary. You can almost imagine how it's, well, how it's feeling on that bike, and just how much he's having to wrestle things around.
Yeah, he's pushing to the limit. And unfortunately for him, because he knows he's got the pace this weekend, he just missed out yesterday afternoon. He knows he was in a prime position to get through. You see the chatter from the rear end of the machine. That's a vibration going all the way through the bike. He's wide, he's offline, he's in the low grip part. And there is the frustration evident, and we understand it from Jack Miller's point of view. Loves this track, won here, dominated here in 2022. That was on a Ducati. Last year was strong on the KTM. And he knows if you're not in the top 12, you're on a hiding to nothing, especially this afternoon in the sprint. Can he get through? And these are his conditions today, in between wet weather, dry weather. It could be a flag to flag. So, yeah, he's beaten the tank because he knows it was an opportunity for him today, and he's not quite got there.
Yeah, frustrating. And he said that yesterday, having not got through to Q2 straight away. These conditions, they cannot make their mind up. It's neither one thing nor the other. They are the worst.
Yeah. For a rider in pit lane now, you've seen all the riders, they walk out onto the pit wall, take a look, and you can't see it getting damp, but as soon as you go out on your sighting lap, it comes down on your visors, down on your screen. It looks worse than it is. And also, it's a little bit off-putting. You tip into the fast corners and the marshals are waving the rain flag, so you panic, you momentarily...
Psychologically.
It is psychological rain. We talk about the mental rain, but it's there, and it will lower the grip ever so slightly. It is the braver rider, the one who can really push. Speaking of brave, here is your candidate, #1 man. He loves these conditions because he doesn't slow down. Well, he does a little bit, but he's able to push a little harder than most, and that maintains temperature in his tires, which gives him more grip. So you're walking a tightrope. It is a double-edged sword. You try and slow down, be cautious, you lose temperature, you crash. You push too hard and it's got wetter into that corner, you crash. So this is where the MotoGP riders earn their money and show their skill. We're going to be witness to 15 minutes of walking a fine line.
Yeah, we are, and it's a shame we're not back in that garage, actually, because the helmet that Marc Marquez has got this weekend is absolutely spectacular. Looking at Fabio Quartararo there, who must be amazed that he's made it through, but utterly delighted and giving himself a chance.
He's got a fighting chance now, and as Mayo said, they didn't expect it. It's not a good track for them on paper. For the inline four, it loses acceleration. They're struggling to stop along with the Ducatis, but he made it happen. A perfectly precise lap, as Mayo said, and yeah, he's in there, he's fighting, and now you see the track temperatures coming down, the ambience coming down.
Right, so I've gone away from now, though Q2 is about to begin, and it is lightly raining, very, very, very lightly raining. So Q2 has just begun, and all of the rides, it seems, has just headed out onto the track. They all seem to go out at the exact same time. They all are desperate, it seems, to get a lap time in before that rain makes its full appearance. It is already very lightly raining. As you can see, the rain flags are out on the track, though you can just see like the tenseness in all of them. They're all just desperate to get out. They're desperate to get a fast lap in, at least one. They're all just desperate to actually try their hardest, and that's all just because they're worried about the rain, because they don't know whether it's going to hold out another 15 minutes until they can actually finish this Q2, or they don't know whether it's going to suddenly start downpouring like halfway through it and they won't be able to do their really fastest runs at the end. I don't think using a V would make Yamaha faster next year. Remember, Honda are using V now, whereas it yielded them. True, they are not very fast right now. Though they're getting there, slowly but surely. They're no longer always at the bottom, and they're just as knowledgeable as Yamaha and MotoGP. Yeah, I mean, using these are a bit. It's a hit or miss, and so far for Honda, it's been a miss. So it's likely to happen for Yamaha too, to be honest. Though rain out there is slightly getting heavier. You can see it more frequently on the camera lens. Hello to Robin. Hello. 13 minutes left of Q2 now. People's times are starting to happen. People are starting to get their lap times coming in. And they're all bunched up together as well, remember. So right now, not only are they fighting to get at least one good lap time in, they're also fighting each other for that, because they are basically pack racing. Like right now, I can see Marc Marquez has just overtaken Bagnaia because he wanted to get ahead of him. No, that wasn't Mark, that was Alex. It's frustrating when you have two brothers in the same team And both their numbers are weirdly similar. It's like, why? Why are their numbers similar? That's a more annoying thing. I saw a 3 and I thought, oh, it must be Mark. I should have remembered that Alex is 73. So 12 minutes left of Q2, and Varane is starting to pick up. About halfway through all their lap times right now, on board with Pecco Bagnaia. Now on board with Martin, though we seem to be looking backwards at Martin. Just keeping an eye on Martin and Bagnaia through each of his cameras. That is actually quite funny. Right, so entering the final sector now. And it's a bit wide there. Oh, there's a puddle on the track. There is a puddle on the track, and I'm pretty sure that is turn 6, which is... No, it's not turn 6. It's later than that. Near the last corner, that's where it is. Marquez was first time with 144.744. No, not 144, 145.744, sorry. Morbidelli goes second with a 145.871. Oh, big wobble there for Marc Marquez going into sector 2. Almost lost it, somehow managed to keep it though. Must have hit a wet patch on the track. You can see them slowly starting to form. All the way through the track, you can just see wet patches every so often, and then obviously down near the last corners there is a massive puddle. Thankfully it is not in the racing line, so people can avoid that easily, I should hope. Then again, some people may not avoid that at all. They might not see it. So we still have 10.5 minutes left of this qualifying, so if the rain's getting heavier now and starting to cause a little bit of a problem, then I can only imagine what it'll be like in 10 minutes time. Marc Marquez is a second up on his own time currently, so he actually might get that 144. Acosta is also 1 second up on Marc Marquez's time. Here's a replay of... Is that the wobble for Marc Marquez? No, that is... Yes, it is. It is a wobble for Marc Marquez. He did hit a wet patch, it seems, and somehow managed to keep it up. Though Acosta is looking to go into first position right now, since he is slightly ahead. Oh, and now he's just lost a couple of tenths back. Nairo is entering the pits. Marc Marquez passes finish line, does a 144.136, stays top. And it's Acosta passes the finish line and goes second with a 144.418. Martin goes third, and Bagnaia goes into the pit lane. What's he doing? Now you're in the pit lane. Are you changing bikes? I for some reason don't think he's changing bikes. Why? Okay. Let me try to get this straight. Hasn't really set a time that much. Goes in the pit lane when it's raining. Smart. No offense. Incident at turn 10 between Martin and Alex Marquez. So Martin seems to have tried to go round the inside of Alex Marquez, and that's not worked out for him since he overestimated how much space he had, and he's just bumped into Alex. Unfortunate. That will be investigated. Possibility of a penalty for getting too close, but I don't think much will come of it. I mean, he's championship leader. I mean, they don't tend to have much come of things with that. Acosta is currently 4 tenths up on Marc Marquez's time, so looking to go into the 143s. I think that is the first time this weekend. Unless I'm completely forgetting the session I've just done, which let's face it, probably am. Oh well. 8 minutes left of the session to go. Bagnaia makes his second run out. I don't know why he went in. I don't know why he went in there. I think he might have been grabbing a second bike. Yeah, he must have been. They must have been grabbing the second bike. Bastianini goes top with a 144.043. Acosta then goes top with a 143.758. Bezzecchi goes third with a 144.073, and the rain came at the wrong time. It should have been in Indonesia. True, then we could have that woman doing the rain dance. That was actually quite entertaining. Going on the green there for... That's either Bezzecchi or D'Antonio. I can't see if it was from too far away the distance. That would have been... It was Bezzecchi going on at the green. And it's... Mark is a monster in mixed conditions. True, he is. That is probably why he's doing so well now, though he's currently in the pit lane, so he can't really defend his time right now. For now, this is a condition that Pedro loves. Yes, it is. It is a condition that he seems to love. And he's being called to the box, though. Don't know why. He's probably going to ignore that. I would. Though D'Antonio is 24 thousandths of a second up on the time of Acosta. Currently, the top three stand at Acosta, Bastianini, and Bezzecchi. And Acosta is now on pole, yes. There are riders who are great in mixed conditions. There are, and don't know why Bagnaia is at the bottom right now. So, Vinales is heading out for his second run. Well, Martin is entering the pit lane, and as is Alex Marquez, Acosta, Bastianini, and Bezzecchi, and Binder, it seems. Whereas Cotteraro is deciding, do you know what, this is a great time to actually go out there. Currently, the only ones out on track is D'Antonio and Marc Marquez has come out of the pit lane. Cotteraro, Morbidelli, and Vinales and Bagnaia. A little bit of a wobble there for Bagnaia in the beginning of that second sector. So, is that his second bike? Do you know what? I am about 75% sure that is his second bike. Because that looks way too shiny. That's how I'm basing this off. He's only currently estimated to go 11th. So that is his opening lap. They all change bike, I guess. Yeah, they seem to either just be having consultations about what they should do, or they are all changing bikes. And personally, I don't feel like it is that heavy of a rain right now to actually change bikes, so I wouldn't have even changed. Though I suppose it's a good way for them to actually practice changing bikes during the race and the sprint race, because I don't know how long it's going to be raining. Not yet, at least. I'll look it up later. So Bagnaia is 44 thousandths of a second faster than Acosta's time currently, though I think he'll lose a bit of time. Then he does lose a bit of time. Goes down to 38 thousandths of a second slower than Acosta with a 143.796, goes into second position. And D'Antonio goes third with a 143.998, 2.5 tenths off the pace. 4 minutes left in this session, and I'm also getting over a cold for anyone wondering why I'm coughing so much. Bagnaia is currently estimated first, though, being almost 2 tenths up on Acosta's time. So Marc Marquez, 4 tenths up, almost, on Acosta's time. So Bagnaia is not looking to get the best of Marc so far in these mixed conditions. Honestly, I was surprised. No. So 3.5 minutes left of the session now. Currently the positions stand as first Acosta, second Bagnaia, D'Antonio third, fourth is Bastianini, Bezzecchi is in fifth, sixth is Marc Marquez, Binder is in seventh, Martin is in eighth, which is very surprising, Alex Marquez is in ninth, Quartararo is in 10th, Morbidelli is in 11th, and Vinales is in 12th. And what is up with Martin? Maybe that's why he was looking so annoyed when we saw him during that break between the sessions, because he is not doing very well in this session, it seems. Bagnaia is currently 4 tenths up on the time of Acosta. Vinales is 2 tenths up on the time of Acosta. And Marc Marquez is 7 tenths up on Acosta's time. Bagnaia does a 43.264, goes top. Vinales does a 143.441, means he gets pushed down into third with Marc Marquez going into first with a 1:42.858, and he immediately goes off the track afterwards. And that is a new all-time lap record by 0.330 seconds. There's a new record for this track. Brilliant for Mark there, brilliant. 2 minutes left of the session, and it's looking unlikely. Oh! Martin is down in sector 3. Crashes out. He really is not having a good time of it. That's at turn 9. And, oh, you are joking me. He completely ruins Acosta's time. And Acosta was looking to go into first position there. He just drops it on the entry into turn 9. He doesn't even get that far into turn 9 before. Does he hit a wet patch? I don't know, but he immediately lets go, and you can see him thinking, what did I do? Though Martin is down, so it's looking like a weekend where Bagnaia is going to dominate. Or Marc Marquez, let's face it. Acosta goes second. Please do not delete his lap time. He's on his last flying lap now. He has one more chance to be able to ensure that his lap time stays. So he goes second with being 1.5 tenths off the pace. So he was looking to be in first position, which is so annoying for him. And it is very sad that Martin has crashed out. But he's not been looking very good of it all the time. Bagnaia immediately goes onto the green. So I don't think he did change bikes, you know. He's looking back at that like, what did I just do? Why did I go on the green? Those are literally what I think when I see the riders looking back thinking. And it's, coincidentally, Acosta is 89 thousandths of a second off the time of Marc Marquez. 89. Martin's number. The man who just ruined his lap time. Honestly. If someone crashed, they have a yellow flag and they cannot run time is it. Yeah, but he also crashed out and his bike ain't going anywhere yet. So it's like going through that sector, you immediately have your lap time cancelled. And we have been saying this does mean Martin and Bagnaia want to win at the championship, and yet they have just been crashing too many times. They have. Yeah, everyone talking about Martin's crash, and Acosta sector 1 and 3 are not good. No, they are not that good. No. So Acosta is first, so he has picked it up. Lap time cancelled for 93 due to exceeding track limits at turn 4. Oh my goodness. Wait, that decision took so long. Why did they delete it? There's a technical error. I hope there's a technical error. Why has Mark just had his lap time deleted? Though Acosta, due to this, has now taken pole position for the Japanese Grand Prix with a lap time of 1:43.018. Wait a minute, why have they taken away Marc Marquez's lap time when it wasn't the last lap time he set? I'm wondering whether there's going to be something about that later. Though Acosta is on pole, and it looks to be first is Acosta on a pole, and on the front row of the grid it will be Acosta, Bagnaia and Viñales. Maybe. Yeah. I think. Yeah. Acosta does a 1:43.018, and 2.5 tenths behind him was Bagnaia. Then third was Viñales, Bastianini was in 4th, Binder was 5th, Morbidelli was in 6th with his teammate crashing out, and D'Antonio was in 7th, Piasecki was in 8th. Marc Marquez, who has his lap time deleted, was dropped down into 9th, with 10th being Alex Marquez, Oh, and here's the track limits. He didn't touch it. I do not think he touched it there. Yeah, even they're saying he didn't touch it. Why is his lap time being deleted? I think that's going to get reinstated at some point. So, if before the sprint race I say, like, hey, it's been reinstated, because I do not believe he touched the green. Martin crashed out and is in 11th, and 12th is Quartararo. Though, no, he did not touch that. He did not touch the green. Acosta has his first MotoGP pole. Very good for him. Sad there's a possibility that it might get taken away from him. But that's that. He doesn't win it. The other thing is they take too long to decide. They do take too long to decide. Like, when was that track limits even happening? I'm pretty sure Mark was in the pit lane when that decision was happened too. So, well done to Acosta. Bit controversial with things. Oh, there's Mark. Yeah, he came into that garage looking a bit frustrated and annoyed. He did not touch the green. I'm going to stand by that, actually. Acosta obviously has his first pole position in MotoGP. And it's, who knows, it could lead to his very first win. And it will be hilarious if Joshua is not here for Acosta's very first win. He is the third youngest pole sitter in the Premier class after Quartararo and Marquez, coincidentally enough. All three of whom are currently both in this qualifying session, and it's just in this sport. And what is going on there between... I can't tell whether that was Martin or Morbidelli, but I think it was Martin and Bagnaia. They seem to just be elbowing each other when it comes to the... Like, they're just going down. I don't know what they were doing. I think that was after. I think it might be jokey. Okay, see you guys in the sprint. I won't be surprised if Ganeshi is going to protest this. I would protest it. Sam Crayfar, we need you in soon. Yes. So, well done to Acosta on his very first pole position. Martin is now currently looking very beaten up by the gravel. Worst grid position since Austria 2023. He starts in 12th. 12th? 12th? What are you talking about? Was that like Austria's grid position? Because right now, he is 11th. Here's a replay of his crash on the onboard. He just drops it, going into turn 9. Nothing he could have done about it. Though, unfortunately for Martin, it is not the first time that he has dropped it this year. Or this month. So, it seems to be kind of a pattern that is never ending between the two of them. Right, so, about 3:30 in the morning for me. So I shall end this session now. Thank you for watching. I believe that the sprint is happening in about 3.5 hours. So for me, it'll be 7. So thank you for watching. Please join us for the sprint. Wait, probably do this. Thank you for watching. And please join us for the sprint at, I think, about 7 a.m. British summer time. So in about 3.5 hours time for the sprint for here MotoGP in Japan. And thank you for watching. Please join us again soon. Goodbye.